Welcome to your weekly AI update for the week ending January 25, 2026. Only on the AI with Arun show. We have 34 major updates to get through, covering everything from space exploration to a browser that built itself and government censorship. Let's get into it. First up, the Wild West era of AI is officially ending. Governments are moving from talking about safety to enforcing it. Leading the pack is South Korea. On January 22nd, they enacted the AI Basic Act. Unlike the EU's slow rollout, this is operational right now. It mandates human oversight for high-risk AI and imposes fines of up to 30 million won if companies don't comply. In Africa, Nigeria is pushing forward the National Digital Economy Bill. This empowers their IT agency to actually regulate algorithms. Importantly, they are focusing on small AI technology that works on cheaper phones and low power to suit their local needs. And India has introduced a new techno-legal framework. This isn't just red tape. It's a mix of technical standards and laws designed to manage risks in high-impact sectors like finance and health. In the US, the Trump administration is taking a very different approach, focusing on centralization and energy. Senator Marsha Blackburn has introduced the Trump America AI Act. This is a massive proposal that would create one unified federal framework for AI. The goal here is to stop individual states from making their own rules, centralizing control in Washington. But here is the kicker. The administration is also proposing a $15 billion mandate on big tech. Because AI data centers are sucking up so much electricity that they are driving up household bills, the White House wants tech companies to pay $15 billion to expand the U.S. power grid. Speaking of power, let's talk about the hardware wars. This is the race to build the physical brains of AI. Nvidia just dropped a bombshell with the Vera Rubin platform. This is the successor to the Blackwell chip. It uses something called HBM4 memory, which is just a fancy way of saying it can handle massive data speeds required for agentic AI that thinks and acts on its own. Meanwhile, Microsoft is pouring $17.5 billion into building data centers across India. They are trying to diversify so they aren't relying solely on U.S. infrastructure. And in a massive geopolitical move, Taiwan and the U.S. signed a $250 billion trade deal. TSMC will expand chip factories in Arizona in exchange for lower tariffs. This is all about securing the supply chain so a war or blockade doesn't shut down the global tech economy. Now, the biggest drama of the week, OpenAI is going solo. Reports confirm, OpenAI has rejected a partnership with Apple. Instead of being just a feature on the iPhone, OpenAI wants to control the whole stack. Apple is now deepening ties with Google Gemini instead. Why? Because OpenAI is building its own device. Partnering with legendary designer Jony Ive, they are on track to launch a hardware product in late 2026. Rumors say it's a screenless wearable meant to replace your phone. They are also embedding themselves in the corporate world. They expanded a deal with ServiceNow to put ChatGPT directly into the software companies use for HR and customer service. For us regular users, the ChatGPT experience is about to change in two major ways. First, the free ride is changing. OpenAI has started testing advertisements in the free version of ChatGPT in the US and Australia. They promise ads won't appear on sensitive topics, but this is the start of the ad-supported era for AI. Second, they want to be your doctor. They officially launched ChatGPT Health. This lets you share medical records for personalized advice. It was built with 200 doctors to be safe, but it is sparking a huge debate about whether we should trust in AI with our health. I mentioned Agentic AI earlier. This is the buzzword of the year. It means AI that doesn't just talk, but actually does work for you. Look at Cursor. They released a web browser where the code wasn't written by humans. AI agents wrote 3 million lines of code in under a week to build it. This is software building software. In retail, Woolworths in Australia partnered with Google to launch Olive. This isn't a chatbot. It's an agent that plans your meals and physically fills your online shopping cart for you. And Google just launched personal intelligence for premium subscribers. It digs through your Gmail and photos to give you answers based on your actual life, not just the web. AI is also moving into the physical world. Zipline, the drone delivery company, just raised $600 million. They are using physical AI to help drones navigate wind and obstacles in real time to deliver medicine and packages. Nvidia released Alpamayo, a new model for self-driving cars. It uses chain-of-thought reasoning. That means if the car sees something weird, like a person in a costume on the road, it can actually reason through what to do, rather than just following a programmed rule. And China is betting the house on this. They announced a plan to build an AI-powered economy by 2035, specifically focusing on robotics to bypass US chip restrictions and automate their factories. While the robots are cool, investors are pouring money into the boring stuff that makes it all work, the infrastructure. A startup called Bassiton raised $300 million to fix inference. Inference is the process of the AI actually answering you. Right now, it's expensive and slow. Base 10 makes it cheaper. Upscale AI raised $200 million to build better networking cables, the glue that connects thousands of chips together so they work as one brain. And Clarity raised $150 million for security. They protect cyber-physical systems, like power grids and hospitals, from being hacked by AI-driven attacks. In healthcare, we are seeing the rise of vertical AI trained on just one specific topic. OpenEvidence raised $250 million. Unlike ChatGPT, which reads the whole internet, this AI only reads peer-reviewed medical journals. It gives doctors answers they can actually trust. And in a sci-fi twist, OpenAI invested in Merge Labs. This is a brain-computer interface startup, founded by Sam Altman. But get this, it uses ultrasound, not brain implants. The goal is to eventually let our brains talk directly to AI. Now for news on AI and geopolitics and control. Russia has allocated over 2 billion rubles for an AI censorship system. By late 2026, they plan to have AI that automatically detects and blocks dangerous content and VPNs in real time. On the other side, Israel and the US signed a joint statement to deepen cooperation. This is part of a Pax Silica alliance, keeping Western nations aligned on AI, quantum computing, and chips. Artificial intelligence is also helping us leave the planet. NASA unveiled FAIMM, Foundational AI for the Moon and Mars. These are models designed to help rovers navigate alien terrain autonomously, because the signal delay to Earth is too long for human remote control. Back on Earth, PPG Industries used AI to invent a new car paint. It dries in half the time of normal paint. It sounds small, but for manufacturing that is a massive efficiency breakthrough. AI is also changing the economy in developing nations. Ghana just deployed AI at their customs borders. It detects fraud in shipping documents and is projected to boost their revenue by 45%. That is huge for their economy. At the World Economic Forum, leaders launched the Small AI Initiative. The goal is to build models that are cheap and energy efficient, so that developing nations aren't left behind by the high cost of American tech. And in the UK, regulators are now demanding AI stress tests for banks. They want to ensure that if an AI trading algorithm goes crazy, it doesn't crash the entire financial system. But it's not all smooth sailing. We are seeing a reality check in the business world. A survey of Australian CEOs shows that while 81% are buying AI, only 1 in 7 is actually making money from it. The problem? Their data is messy, and they don't know how to integrate it yet. In education, the OECD released their 2026 outlook. They warn of a digital divide. Schools with AI will race ahead, while those without it will fall behind. They are calling for human-led instruction to keep things fair. Finally, keep your eyes on India. India has announced the India AI Impact Summit for February 2026. The CEOs of Nvidia, Google, and Anthropic are all attending. They want to be an AI superpower. They are aiming to attract $100 billion in investment to become the third major pole in the global AI race alongside the US and China. So to wrap up the week, 1. Regulation is live. South Korea and the US are laying down the law. 2. Hardware is king. OpenAI, Nvidia, and Microsoft are spending billions on chips and devices. 3. Agents are here. AI is writing code, shopping, and driving cars. 4. Global divergence. While the West builds alliances, Russia automates censorship. That is the state of AI this week. I want to hear from you. Is OpenAI right to dump Apple and build their own device? Or is that a mistake? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the AI with Arun show for more updates. Thanks for watching.